group Empowered Women. And first of all, welcome, and thanks a lot to accept my request to come online for an online session and to do the discussion about procrastination and imposter syndrome. So we would begin with your, brief introduction. If you shall give it for my audience, so that would be great. Please go ahead.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's a pleasure. I am a neuroencoding specialist and a well-being master coach. What that means is I help people overcome self-doubt, anxiety, procrastination, imposter syndrome, and multiple other things which they can identify within themselves. And I help them overcome this with scientifically proven tools and techniques. Most of us don't know how to use our bodies to help ourselves. Like you will find that people will say, they will have certain beliefs about themselves, which they are aware of, but they don't know what to do with it. Sometimes it holds them back. Sometimes it doesn't let them reach their true potential. It can be as simple as, they see women, they're like, no, our husband will not allow, or a mother-in-law will not allow. Stuff like that, just assumptions, which are not letting them proceed and progress and reach their true potential. I help them navigate that without, going overboard with something, without doing something drastic. I teach them how to be mindful, how to create the right thoughts, how to use our body so that we are physically fit, mentally fit, emotionally fit, and obviously if there is a spiritual connection, then you are divinely guided also. So I help around that. That's what I do as a coach. But my education-wise, I am an MBBS doctor. I'm from Pakistan, so we have MBBS here. And I'm a medical doctor, a physician, if you will.
That's great.
So I mostly
amazing introduction for my audience. That would be great to discuss with you, and hopefully I would invite you in future as well for a few more sessions as well, so that would be great.
I would love that.
Yes. So let us begin with this topic, which I've just put up in front of you. Two topics, but we'll go one by one. So first topic, which I just want to talk about, is imposter syndrome. And if about this term you can define what is all this about and some signs and symptoms about this imposter syndrome, so then my viewers, they would understand easily.
Of course. So imposter is somebody who's fake. Imposter syndrome has to do with your own ability, where you think you don't deserve the praise, and when you think that everything that you've achieved, it's not true, or you have not worked hard for it.
Right.
So imagine everything that is going to your credit, every course you've done, every skill set you have gained, in the back of your mind, you think, I need to do more, I need to do more. I don't deserve this praise. People acknowledge you, people give you award, people give you, praises like, wow, you did so well. But in your head, in your brain, you think, oh, no, you are not proud of yourself because you think that you just got this, you have not worked hard for it. That feeling usually ends up giving the person anxiety and overwhelming thoughts, excessive worry. So imposter syndrome starts coming in when you start achieving things. You go up the ladder if you're an executive female, because my clients are mostly women in leading roles. So when they're going up the ladder, when they are getting those awards or recognition, and in their head, they're like, oh, why am I getting this? I don't deserve this. That is what imposter syndrome is. And we must address it, because it hinders, it will stop your progress. If you don't cater to it, if you don't understand what it is, there are simple tools to overcome it. So there are many of us who, take care of our homes as well as work. And we try to balance it. We juggle, right? And there are many times when our effort is not acknowledged, right? And when we stop acknowledging our own effort, that's when imposter syndrome comes in.
All right, so those sort of major signs and symptoms, if you also gave example of that lady who would also always like, pursuing her future, or she would want to see her somewhere, in future,
Mm.
what sort of signs you would also highlight that, yeah, those are the signs and those are the symptoms that, yeah, ladies, they can suffer with, even though, like, not ladies especially, anybody can suffer with this imposter syndrome.
Yeah,
So yes,
anyone.
about
Yeah.
signs, yeah, about signs and symptoms.
So, when you talk about sign and symptoms, let me say that imposter syndrome is not a disease per se,
Mm-hmm.
but a condition, something that is felt. Okay. Now, when I come across such cases, they usually approach me with the initial thoughts that, I got an award, but they will not be smiling. When they say that, I got a lot of praise, but they will not be happy about it. So you will wonder why they are not experiencing joy in that moment. Imposter syndrome is a thief of our joy.
Mm-hmm.
So what the signs would be that you are talking about them, you are introducing them to your friend or somebody in the community, and they'll be like, yeah, okay, slightly reserved, not very happy about who they are, not telling, not acknowledging that they have worked hard for it. Instead, what you will hear is, you may think that they are being modest initially, because we don't want to say that, oh, I did this, I did that. We are not boasting about things. That's being modest. But when the this modesty goes a little overboard, when you're inviting somebody, you're saying that I want to throw a party, I want to throw a dinner because you got this achievement or you got promoted, simple promotion, and the person says, oh no, I don't know, maybe I don't deserve it. So the sense of not deserving a praise, a promotion, elevated status, that feeling is imposter syndrome. That is what in the conversation, you will be able to pick, oh, here comes imposter syndrome. Oh, she's not acknowledging her own effort.
Also
Why I'm saying,
related, excuse me, is it also related, like, your inner feeling, like suppose
yes,
you getting your achievements, but internally you are not feeling contented, and you are
yes,
not at a level of happiness where that
exactly,
something is missing, and that is why people, they suffer with that imposter syndrome, isn't it?
exactly. You got that. Yes,
Hmm.
that's it.
Okay.
And and the signs, these were the signs. This is how you can pick.
Hmm.
As for symptoms, overthinking,
Hmm.
over worrying, and then procrastination also,
Hmm.
too much planning, and not refusing invitations at times,
Okay.
becoming more introverted at times,
Hmm.
avoiding public gatherings.
Hmm.
Somehow it leads to that. Why would you want that? You will become isolated. And then there are beliefs.
Hmm.
When you are growing bigger, when you are becoming, you're up the ladder, have you heard people say that, you know up there you will be alone because very few people will be your friends, true
Yeah.
friends.
Right. Yes,
So many people say that already. So in our heads, preset, there is a preset that if I become too successful, I will be alone.
yeah.
Even thought like that
Mm-hmm.
can hamper your growth. Isn't that
Oh,
interesting?
yeah, of course. So what do you think that what triggers more? What could be those causes or those potential causes for imposter
Very
syndrome?
good question.
Yes.
I love that question. Okay, so what triggers it and what leads to it?
Mm-hmm.
Imposter syndrome we're talking about. When you come home and you tell your parents, I got these many marks. Now, if it's not a position like first, second, third in class, then most of the desi parents are like, you didn't come first, you didn't even come third in class. Okay, who got more marks? So your effort is not acknowledged by immediate family. Then when you go out, you play some sport, and if you win or your team wins, for example, if you're playing football and your team wins, your family members and friends who know that your team won, they will ask, did you score anything? So the thought will be, oh, my team won, but it's a more important whether I made a goal or not, whether I scored something or not. So maybe I don't deserve the joy. Okay. Then, for example, your boss acknowledged you at workspace. Oh, Miss XYZ really did well in the presentation. And she was not the only one. There was a whole team, like 4 or 5 people who were presenting. Now, this person will say, no, no, it's okay. All of us did it together. She will herself let go of the praise. She will herself not acknowledge the essence and not enjoy the entirety of it, not celebrate. When you don't celebrate something, then you don't enjoy it to the core. You don't own it. You in your head think, oh, we did it together. It's a team thing. It's a team building exercise, a team thing. We did it together. So you undermine your own effort. When this piles up, all this, something from the past, something from your childhood, something from your, maybe if you're married, something from the husband, something from the in-laws, everything just piles up. It has effect on your personal life. It has effect on your professional life as well.
Okay. Yeah, because I also wanted to know that if there is any connection, that could affect in your personal life, and you mentioned. Now, would you think that there would be some types of imposter syndrome? There are level of imposter syndrome. Something is like that, like people just would understand, right?
We don't have different types for imposter syndrome, but one is being mindful of the thoughts they're making. We talk to each other. We talk to ourselves, right? We don't just talk to each other. We talk to ourselves in our head. The language we use with ourselves. What tone is it? Start noticing this today. Start observing. How am I talking to myself? Am I discouraging myself? Am I encouraging myself? Words are only 7% of communication. But if that 7% communication is hateful, is discouraging, it's not kind. If you're not kind to yourself, and kind to yourself doesn't mean you go to spa, you pamper yourself with cosmetics or purchase something, go shopping. No, that's not kindness to yourself. Kindness begins with the choice of words you use. I got this. Patting yourself, praising yourself, hugging yourself. When you're alone, you hug yourself, you tell yourself it's okay. It's okay. Maybe you made a mistake. It's okay. People make mistakes. Nobody is perfect, right? It's okay. Or just acknowledging, hey, you did good job. Do it even better next time. Good job. You did the best you could. So there is a difference. Imagine if you were going to say, oh, I am not tech savvy. I cannot do this live from here, live from there. Imagine what would happen. Would you be able to do it? If you kept telling yourself, I can't do it, then you will not be able to do it because you're telling yourself that. So it's not that there are types, but it's levels. How bad is it? How, go ahead.
There's one confusion which I also want you to clear. Is it something like people, they always say, especially ladies, oh, we want our me time. and there should be a me time, would be fine, would be satisfied, would be contented. As you also mentioned, like, we should go for shopping, we should do something, like, maybe we would go to parlor and would do some hair done, nail done. What is also a level of satisfaction for giving me time to just get rid of that, imposter syndrome, or it doesn't help
So,
at all? And there is another level or another meaning to understand about this imposter syndrome. Please just elaborate it.
so yeah, sure. Imposter syndrome, when imposter syndrome happens to you think you don't even deserve breaks. When imposter syndrome happens to you think you don't deserve shopping sprees. You don't deserve to relax because you have so much to do. And when women say there's no me time, what are they doing? They are not prioritizing their own well-being. Well-being is a big umbrella. Okay, well-being includes your physical health, well-being includes your mental health, emotional health, which people don't really talk about, your spiritual health, and your relationships. There's 5 areas of life, right? So if I was to ask what you did for your physical health, then if you can answer that, good. If you cannot answer that, then in the meantime, maybe some time needs to be given to physical health, right? If I ask you, what did you do about your emotional health, emotional regulation? Because a lot of men also say, not just women, a lot of men also say that, you might be hormonal, maybe you're PMSing, maybe your hormones are not up to par, and maybe there's some disease going on, maybe you have PCOS, maybe you have some other actual disease that you're carrying, and then it becomes an excuse. Now that is self-sabotaging.
Right.
Don't let your own body become an excuse. Alhamdulillah, thank God, we have this body as a gift. Everybody is different. We will live through life in a different way. That does not mean that your body is any less than mine. Are you taking care of it? In the meantime, make sure that even if it's just 15 minutes, just 15 minutes in 24 hours, it is focused on you. This is a gift to you from yourself. 15 minutes? Can you not take out 15 minutes? What is it that you are doing? Because, I've had clients before, like 4 years before, 5 years before, when it was before the pandemic, I had clients who were saying that, we cannot find me time. I kid you not, I was one of those people 6 years back, 7 years back, who thought that we don't have me time. Actually, we were not prioritizing. I was not prioritizing my own areas of life, and I was not aware.
Right.
My suggestion to your audience would be
So, Dr.
start
Sana,
becoming aware.
before wrapping up this topic, I again, I would also like suggestion. What would you like to give about this imposter syndrome? So then, of course, we have to jump on to the next topic as well. So before
All right.
wrapping up this topic, yes, those therapies or any suggestions, any tips or tricks you want to give to my audience, so that would be great. Please share with us.
Okay, so my dears, when you talk about, if you think you could relate with any of what I've said, those thoughts, those feelings that I'm not important enough, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve this. If ever you come across this, first thing is to write it down, the day and time when you're, so that you are aware. First step to do anything is to become self-aware. Then you look for people like coaches and mentors who have gone through it, who know how to manage it, who are trained people. You can talk to your friends, you can talk to your family. They are your well-wishers. You feel lighter when you talk to your friends and family, but they are not trained professionals. Trained professionals, like, okay, so my experience with therapist was a bit different. I could not get the right help at the right time. Years back, 8 years back, 7 years back, the therapist I went to, she was very good, and she was obviously taking care of mental health. but he was not equipped to take care of emotional health. What I was ending up doing was I was venting only, paying also, and not getting better emotionally.
Oh.
Okay. I still had fears. I still had doubts. It was, I was not emotionally better.
Mm.
So she told me that I don't need her services. After 4 sessions, she told me I don't need her services. But I was not better. So I was unsatisfied. I was not fulfilled. And then, much later, after 2, 3 years' time, after looking at, after reading self-help books, after actually, using social media to help myself,
Mm.
I figured out I need a coach. A coach works on thought processes. A coach works on mindset. A coach works on emotional well-being. Well-being coach, right? That's why I chose to become one. That is how you can also reach out to people. Don't feel shy. There's no need to feel shy. Every woman at some point goes through this. Where the life is a cycle.
Right.
So imposter syndrome can be managed. Once you learn it, you just need to practice it, apply it, and look at me. 6 years later, I am helping other people, overcome imposter syndrome and procrastination and self-doubts, and they become better versions of themselves.
All right. Oh, that was great. Thanks a lot for sharing those suggestions, with my viewers. I've got some listeners on my other platform, and if they have any question, they can make a request for the speaker. I'll just let you in, and then you guys can pose some questions, with my life coach, Dr. Sana Yasir is here, and we are doing the Zoom live session, but I would also accommodate from this side, from this platform. Now, if we talk about procrastination,
Yeah,
what does it mean by, and of course, some signs and symptoms about this procrastination, if you can share with my viewers.
of course. So, imposter syndrome, we are done with. Let's move back a little. Imposter syndrome is, it's a manifestation, but before that, some processes happen,
Mhm.
right? So procrastination is a big word to just say that it's a habit of delaying important tasks.
Right.
It's usually you think that something is less urgent till the deadline is there. So instead of doing it slowly, gradually, you rush to finish something last minute because then you become anxious about it. Oh, I have a deadline. Oh, I couldn't do this.
Mhm.
Procrastination varies in levels because some people tend to be more lazy. Basically, procrastination word means that there is unwillingness to take action. Just that, unwillingness to take action. So, what do you do in that time? You make plans.
Mhm.
You don't execute the plans. You make plans, but you don't take action for that plan. People who procrastinate usually miss their deadlines or become very anxious at the time of their deadline. Now, this could be as simple as guests are coming over, you are cooking in your home, and you are not prepared. You have not cut your veggies, you have not prepared the ingredients, and the last minute, now it's high time, they're about to, you are busy in the kitchen. It could also be that you are given a task at your workplace and it's 5 days away. So now, if today's day one and it's 5 days away, day one you're chilling, you're not doing much about it. Day two, you're like, okay, let's make a draft, a first draft of day three, where you should be now on it and you should be thinking that, how can I tweak it to be better? Now you're actually making it, slowly, thinking that, okay, I still have 2 days left. But on the fourth day, you are panicking, you are getting anxious. Oh, this is not done. How will I get it checked? You this process is because you procrastinated. This process is because you delayed something when you had time. So you could not enjoy it. You rushed at the end and you became anxious.
So what do you
And
think?
also,
Yeah, what do you
yeah,
think, Dr. Sana? There are some potential causes or underlying factors contributing this procrastination.
yes. So sometimes, when I've heard young girls say, okay, no offense to the Gen Z, but I've seen them work at their workplace and they're like, my brain doesn't function unless I've had coffee.
That happens most of the time, even though I always just make an excuse. Oh, I'm not having a cup of tea. Mostly, like, I'm so much fond of having tea. So then I would say,
Yeah,
oh, I'm not feeling energetic and I need my cup of tea, or
yeah.
especially if it's just coffee.
So look at this. It's such a simple example, but because we have told our brains
Mm-hmm.
that when the coffee goes inside, our brain wakes up.
Hmm.
Even though we are up, we got dressed, we came to the office, or we started cleaning the house, whatever. If we are a housewife, then we are working our work starts when we wake up.
Right.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
all women do a lot of work.
Right.
But the the talk that we have with ourselves, "Mm, I will not be energized till I have my coffee,"
Right.
makes us lose that time.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one thought, but it makes us lose that time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is one example only. We have so many other examples of delaying work, yeah, of not utilizing the time we have because we are not focused on it.
Mm-hmm.
And what does this lead to? When we don't put in the effort, what is the message we are giving ourselves? It lays the foundation for imposter syndrome. Because then we think, oh, we did it in just one day. Oh, we did it last minute. We don't deserve the praise. You get it?
Right.
So it becomes a cycle. It becomes a cycle. It ends up with what? A lot of anxiety, overwhelming thoughts, and no acknowledgement, no joy. You
Mm-hmm.
get it? It's all thought processes. If we can understand how our thought patterns work, what is the best way to work those thoughts? How can I utilize my time so
Mm-hmm.
that I have me time, more me time?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you like that? Wouldn't you want that? More me time, more relaxation, more productivity in the day.
Mm-hmm.
You have a 9 to 5 job, you are more productive, but then don't come home and yell at the kids, don't come home and throw things around.
Mm-hmm.
Be emotionally regulated, be good, be calm, give out love, give out kindness. When you are in a good headspace,
Mm-hmm.
only then you can be kind to yourself and others. Do you agree with me?
Definitely, of course, I do agree with that. So this all thought process we need to work on, and we've got
Yes.
8 minutes where we have to wrap up this, second topic as well. But we are just going through with the flow. Now, if you can mention about procrastination, that is there are there some levels of procrastination, or it just starts just right away? And then it just remain there, or it increases also with the level, or getting more severe for people. How do you elaborate it?
Yes. So let me tell you, let me give you a layered example. Okay.
Mhm.
So for example, the very first thought is, like I said, no coffee, I can't jumpstart.
Mhm.
Okay. So you lose time there.
Right.
Then when you do get your coffee, or when you go and make it for yourself, you lose certain time.
Mhm.
That means in that time you could have done something productive.
Mhm.
When you lose that time, you go ahead with your day and you're like, you're lazy. Despite the coffee, you tend to be lazy. Sometimes there are underlying conditions like low thyroid hormone. You need to go for a workup every year, once a year. Get yourself checked physically. Okay,
Mhm.
so you know where your hormones are, you know where your sugar is, you know where your blood pressure is. Take care of yourself, become mindful about yourself. This shows your brain and others around you that you worry about yourself, your health is important to you. Why
Mhm.
do we not do it? Because in our head, our health is not important. We think we are young,
Mhm.
and being young means that you cannot have a disease.
Mhm.
It's not like that. So procrastination, minimum is when you lose time in doing some productive work. Maximum is when you're so lazy that you miss a deadline, you get punished, you get, your boss is not happy with you, you can lose a job.
Right.
So that's the very extreme of procrastination. People don't want procrastinators.
Right.
You
Yes.
Nobody wants a procrastinator. If a mother procrastinates, can she make food on time? If a mother procrastinates, if a housewife procrastinates, can she get the house cleaned on time?
Mhm.
It's very simple. Now, in a workspace, if you procrastinate, you are at the risk of losing your job. And imagine, there is no pill for procrastination. There is no pill for imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
You need a coach who can work with you.
Okay.
And is it worth your time? Of
Mhm.
course, people invest lots and lots in becoming the best versions. It's a major investment in yourself. The best investment you can do is in yourself.
All right. Can you differentiate between this laziness and this procrastination, and make my viewers and audience understand about it, that laziness is something else, but this procrastination, I think, is just going above the
Yes.
level where we can
Yes.
understand it more thoroughly.
So, so laziness comes when you are low on energy or you feel low on energy. All
Mhm.
right? You're lazy, you're tired.
Mhm.
But procrastination is a habit of delaying important things.
Oh,
Two different
wow.
things.
Right.
One
Mhm.
is your feeling of, low energy. But
Mhm.
procrastination becomes a label. It becomes a problem because you develop a habit of delaying important things. I hope
Mm.
that clarifies it.
Definitely, definitely. Now, in the end, before wrapping up this topic and, of course, our session, what sort of strategies or maybe therapies, tips, and tricks for avoiding this or overcoming this procrastination problem, if you can share with my viewers, that would be great.
So, when we begin with procrastination, when I work with a client, I make sure that I understand their thought process. What are they doing? Where are they going wrong? All
Mm.
right. So, there's a questionnaire that we go through. Then I highlight their language, the language they use with themselves. Then I make sure why they say that. What are the beliefs? What are their values? I explore the values. I tweak them. I tell them, is this better or is this better? When they become aware, they can make the changes themselves. Coaching is a do with process. I don't dictate. It's not a pill I can give and they can get better.
Right.
So I teach them some tools also, like what can you do to quickly step this? What can you do to let go of laziness?
Right.
For some people, some tools work. For other people, other things work. Like for very few, orally, verbally, I can talk through questions. I can just change their thinking. But
Mhm.
for some, I have to make them walk on steps. There's papers, written stuff, and then I have to like physically make them stand and walk so that their brain registers, their body helps them.
Mm.
It's a mix of your body. You train your body and mind to work together to make the best for you. When you learn this, you develop a new habit. Guess what this habit replaces? It
What would be?
replaces procrastination. So
Whoa,
it
amazing.
becomes a good exercise initially, and then it becomes a habit.
Hmm. That was amazing, amazing, from your side to share with us those strategies and, of course, those, therapy, of course, like, somebody would seek your help, they can either type in the comment section below. So then you can get the contact detail of Dr. Sana Yasir. So then you can get in touch with her. So it was an amazing session, Dr. Sana Yasir, with you. And I would really appreciate, for giving out time for this live session. And thanks a lot. You have a lovely day from my side.
I'm very, I'm very grateful that you asked, and I'm very grateful that I was able to add value to your audience. I hope that your audience grows, and I hope that each one of us increases in their productivity and help others. You touch lives. What you're doing is commendable and praiseworthy. I hope that you grow, and I wish you a lot of success, my.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for your kind words. And inshallah, looking forward for more and more sessions in future. So
I would love that.
until you take
Thank
good
you
care
so
of
much.
yourself. Yes, you have a
You
lovely day.
too.
And bye-bye. I'm signing off.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.